Hi, I'm Lindsay, and this is Life by Lindsay's weekly Serial Sunday episode, where each week we give you a book series, or a trilogy that we think you should read. Let's get into it. If I pronounce any names wrong, I'm sorry. I'm just trying my best. Just want to put that out there, because some of these I might screw up. But this week's book is Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil by John Berendt. It's the true story of the Savannah Society in the 1980s, and it was published in 1994. It focuses around the trial of Jim Williams, who was accused of murder, but it also tells the story of the many other natives of Savannah. The book is narrated by John Kelso, a man who lives in New York but decides to move to Savannah part-time, and tells the story of all the people he encounters while he's down there. That includes Jim Williams, a collector who was on trial for the murder of one of his helpers, Danny Hansford. While this book does focus on the Jim Williams murder trial, it tells many other stories besides that one, focusing not entirely on him, but the many other people you can find down in Savannah. Some of them actually were real. Some of these characters include Joe Odom, a swindling, financially unstable musician who owns his own bar and gets through all of his challenges with his wit and charm. Next, we have Lady Chablis, my personal favorite. She's a drag queen, very open about it, who gets her weekly estrogen shots, and that's how she meets John, actually. Next is Luther Driggers, a man who is very OCD in his ways, and claims he owns enough poison to put into the water supply and kill all of Savannah. And then there's Emma Kelly, a very famous pianist and singer who travels all around Georgia to play in different bars and clubs. That's not everyone, though, that John encounters, but those are just some of the few more notable ones. And then, of course, he meets Jim Williams, a clean-cut, seemingly law-abiding citizen who's very wealthy and has some secret homosexual tendencies that kind of get him on with Danny Hansford, making the murder trial even more confusing, since people believe they've had a relationship together. No one in Savannah is quite sure if Jim is guilty or innocent, causing there to be 4 trials over the course of 8 years. And it only takes them to move the case out of Savannah into another city where people can actually decide whether or not he's innocent or guilty once and for all. The whole time, though, Jim was very calm, cool, and collected throughout his trials, all 4 of them. Even though time and time again it looked like he was going to lose, he still managed to stay calm and cool. Though he did recruit a root doctor for some help guiding the jury the way he wanted it to go. Speaking of root doctors, there's actually a story behind the title Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil. In many magical practices, they believe that between the hours of 11 p.m. and 12 a.m. is a time where you do good magic, but then 12 and 1 a.m., between those hours, is a time where magic is only done for evil purposes. Hence, Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil, where the root doctor actually does her work in her garden, right along the grave of her husband. This book tells the story of Savannah Society, the community of people who are very obsessed with their appearances and are very afraid of change. But despite that, the characters manage to grow and thrive, even though no one really wants change. Just like how the title has a story, the cover has a story too. The Bird Girl statue actually has nothing to do with the story at all. It's seemingly just a picture of a girl holding 2 plates in her hands in a cemetery. The cover photographer was taking a walk one day in one of Savannah's cemeteries, one of Savannah's many cemeteries, when he came across her, thought she was a very interesting and intriguing statue, and took a picture and submitted it to be the cover. Since then, this book has been described as having one of the strongest covers ever. And of course, everyone wanted a piece of the iconic Bird Girl statue. So many people would go to the cemetery and take pieces off of her. And if it wasn't for the Savannah community coming together, we might not have the Bird Girl statue at all. If you go to the Gibson Art Center, right in the heart of Savannah, you will now find that she is the only permanent art piece in the entire gallery, looking out the window, right onto the Savannah Street. If you're ever stuck for vacation ideas, consider Savannah, Georgia. If you go there, you can see many of the places that the movie actually filmed in, including the Mercer House, where Jim Williams lived, and Danny Hansford was killed. But if you go in, she'll let you in with one rule. You cannot mention the book or movie at all. If you do, she'll kick you out without a second thought. Trust me, it's happened to some people that I know. That's all I have for you this week. If you have any suggestions, leave them down in the comment below. And if you like this video, press the like button and maybe even the subscribe button. And I'll see you again next week, hopefully, with another edition of Serial Sunday. Until then, bye.